Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me. This is Michael Anfield live, and I've wanted to do this for a little while now, and for some reason, I just haven't gotten to do a live event in a long time. So here I am. Thank you for joining me again, Michael Anfield, coming back at you. And I just wanted to update people on what's going on and also talk about my newest audiobook that's coming out. So this is very exclusive to Bandcamp, and it's really great that now, there's a lot of problems that we're facing in our society today, and I just wanted to touch base on with everybody about what's happening and to release something short where people can listen to that can address some of these issues. Hi, Chris. Thank you for joining me here. And so, this time in the world today, we're having a lot of conflict and problems pertaining especially to the coronavirus, COVID 19. And I wanted to release something so people really know what's going on. And that is um, yeah, hi, Chris. That is the issue that we have here on this in the world today. Is really that there's no better time than to address these problems so that we can address them. Sorry, we can teach people these ideas and address it, and let's make a new stand. Let's create a new world because this society is not working any longer. The government, the society, the um, whatever we're doing here with pertaining to politics or anything like that is just not working any longer. There's somebody outside, some insect outside that wants to get in, and let's see. Oh yeah, I see him. So there's um there's no solution to continuing this system. The system doesn't work any longer. The culture does not work any longer. We need to create uh, a new world and a new world community. So that's what I'm proposing in this audiobook, um, which is something that I think people will really like. It's a short audiobook. It's 27 minutes. It has music by Moby, and so Moby is creating the music for this. And what else do I have to say about this? Not much. It's short audiobook. You can listen to it anywhere, um, in your car, in the kitchen when you're preparing meals, whatever. It's yeah. If anybody has any questions or anything they want to ask, please do so. Uh, Post it, and I'll be able to read it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, other news that's happening is that because of this COVID pandemic that we're having here in the lockdown, it's hard. Everyone has, I mean, there are people that are having a great time because they're making money and they're not doing much. They're getting money from the government or whatever. Or, or they're suffering financially. And financing, or I should say, the monetary system is no longer working. So we have to think, okay, the monetary system, we had that for a very long time, some form of the monetary system, if it's bartering or if it's through the actual currency, it's really not working. The system itself is not working. So we have to ask ourselves, what is another way in order to, what's an alternative to the system? What's another way to another system? And The whole thing is there is only one way, and I do talk about this in the book, in the audio in the audiobook. It's veganic homesteading communities, away from cities and away from culture, and just because we ultimately have lost the natural instinct within us, to really to connect with nature and to connect with the other animals, and really to put our hands in the soil and really to grow our own food and to have our own, our own energy and our own water. And we've lost that. We've really lost touch with nature, and we're poisoned when we're living in cities and we're living in toxic environments that really don't do much for us positively. So I want to thank all of you for joining me here. There's not many viewers on yet, but I want to do more of these videos as time goes on, but my connection is not the best. So hopefully you're able to see this. And if you are able to see this, give it a thumbs up or tell me if you can see this, because, and I don't know how I am able to stop this video if I want to. But anyways, we shall see, because this is the first time I'm doing it through the phone, and I usually do it through the computer. I haven't done it in ages, actually, so I really don't know. Um, I did it through my computer, actually, so. But I had a problem recently with my computer because something is going on with Google Hangouts. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm good with technology, but in one sense, I'm not good with technology. I just want to forego it because really, it's always technical issues, especially with my low bandwidth speed, because I'm running here at 5 megabits per second. I think 5 megabits per second, yeah. So it's pretty slow. But yeah, I'm here. People are struggling with the COVID-19 virus, and especially me because I'm in this place. It's a house that I'm renting. It's 2 floors, 2 story, 4 bedroom, a huge living room and kitchen, all open concept. And yeah, it's in San Juan, Nerejo. It's about 6 kilometers from the biggest town called Manejo, which has about 13,000 people in Costa Rica, Alaluya province. And basically, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Um, the highway or the main road is about 800 meters away, and then the closest supermarket slash mini market is about, I don't know, 1.5, 2 kilometers away, 2.5 kilometers away. So I don't usually go there because they don't have much produce. I go to the local farmers market every week on Fridays, and they have a really good selection there. Um, not too bad price compared to Canada, U.S., but it's not cheap at all by any means. Costa Rica is definitely not cheap, but it's definitely not expensive compared to U.S. and Canada. And yeah, so people are suffering. I'm suffering too financially, but at the same time, I understand that the monetary system is no longer working for us. We're slaves to money. We have to work just to pay our, for rent and things like that. When it's supposed to be our birthright to live freely on the land, to live freely on the earth, and to our birthright to have water, seed, and plant foods. We all need to survive. I mean, the only reason why we don't have food is because people are not growing food, first of all, and they're not helping one another with food, and we're taking over all the land basically, and now there's not much food, like not much wild food growing around. We've taken all the land, we've poisoned the land, not much, food growing. Everybody has their own private property. So if even if there is some food growing somewhere, we're not allowed that, and it's just hard to like forage nowadays even. And what do we do? How do we survive in this world? We rely so much on governments for water and for electricity and for food. We go to the supermarkets all the time, and then we have to work all the time, and we don't have even time to do anything else. I mean, look, it's really it's really terrible how we get everything is coming to us. All the water, all the electricity, and all the food is coming to us, and still we don't have time to spend with our families. Good time. Uh, we don't have time for our families. We don't have time for meditation and prayers or anything else for that matter. It's really sad, you know. And here I am struggling financially to make ends meet. I don't know how I'm going to pay for next month's rent. um, it's difficult. It's very very difficult, And the whole idea is to support your vegan advocates, your vegan activists. Support them as much as possible. Whoever is doing great work, if you can support them in some way, do so. I'm a minimalist, so I don't buy anything I don't absolutely need. I just live simply. The only thing I really do have is my computer, my phone. I don't even have service on my phone actually. I have of course, my backpacks, my jacket, of course, my clothes. I have my blender, and really, you know, chargers, some batteries. I mean, if just basic things. It can fit probably two or three bags. Um, yeah, very minimal. And I really love this life. I live in nature or close to nature, right on the mountain. I don't have a lot of things. I just whatever I need to survive and to thrive. And yeah, all my fruits behind there. I don't know if you can see that, but all the fruits there, some pineapples and things. So yeah, it's a great life here in Costa Rica. I really like it. Away from cities. I think that's the problem. Is city life is really gets to some people. Um, all the radiation and EMF waves and all that. It's just getting to people, and I think that there has to be another way to really live. And society and and governments and politics and police force and the mega corporations, they it just doesn't work. The system doesn't work any longer. And so this new audiobook, The Journey to Awakening, which is both an updated version to my book, The Journey, but also it's an introduction to my next book, which I'll be releasing. I'm not sure when, but it'll take some time for this book to be released, probably a few years. But basically, what it is, it's a fiction, nonfiction book. So it's my first like kind of nonfiction book that basically talks about two people. Um, and I don't really want to talk about it because and may never even manifest this book, but I really want it to manifest. So basically, it's about two people who come from different walks of life, very different people. One who's a vegan, and one who becomes vegan, and one who is not vegan at all, who doesn't want to become vegan. And they both transform themselves into different different kinds of people. Like it's incredible story. I have the basic outline started, and so I know approximately what I want to say in it in this book. And so it's basically about this society and how it really doesn't serve us any longer, and how we need to walk away from it, and basically how we can actually do that, the physical details, and how we can get to living this other life. Now, I myself am not really living fully anarchistly. I would love to live away from society, away from governments, right in nature. And that's what I would love. And to have a community like that, people that want to exercise and their birthrights, to not conform to any government laws, to not have to pay in order to live on earth, because we our birthright is to live freely on the earth with our birthright to seed, water, and plant foods. And of course, our birthright to privacy, and to um, our birthright to being nude as well, because that's how we came into the world. We came into the world. Our Unfortunately, our parents were indoctrinated, and we if we were born in a hospital, we were indoctrinated, and we got this coercion with the government. Our parents signed whatever papers, and we got our birth certificate, passport, and then we get our also our some kind of insurance number, some kind of ID number that we have. In Canada, it's called social insurance number, or SIN. And so basically, um, we're kind of tied to the system. Then we have, on top of that, we have our driver's license. If we get a driver's license, which most people do, then we have um, things like bank cards and Visa cards and things that track us. Then we're on the internet again, which tracks us. Then we have all these EMF waves and all these radiation things coming onto us and destroying our health. And it's sad, we're living in this society today, and we've lost touch of our, of being in nature. And somebody messaged me back from, I don't know if it's from, I'm not sure if it's from, one second here. I'm not sure. No, only one person posted. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, yeah, so it's very hard. This doesn't work any longer. So we have to think, how else is there to live? I mean, live like we did thousands of years ago, basically. I mean, uh, with technology, if it's not destructive or not as destructive. But all technology, I think, is in some ways is is toxic, because the radiation, the EMF waves, all that. I mean, if it's not 5G, it's 4G or whatever. It's all radiation. Of course, 5G is worse, but it's all radiation. So there's something that we need to really work on. And if you go to the forum called World Vegan Community, peaceful-village.com/forum, you'll see that that the community is up there, the forum is up there, and there's not much content on it yet, but there's discussions and there's things going on there to learn and to build physical veganic homesteading communities. So that's really all I wanted to mention here today. If anybody has anything they want to add, we have 30 seconds left. I want to keep this short, actually, but 30 seconds left. If anybody wants to say anything, I can go on for a little bit longer. But this is all about creating alternative communities away from society and leaving society completely, denouncing our citizenships and our social insurance numbers, our ID numbers, and denouncing all of that, so we can live in a utopian world finally. And this is possible if we all band together and we create this world that we want to live in. But there's many things that are holding people back. So there are many, many things that are holding people back. 1 second. Okay. And that is, first of all, fear. I mean, we fear that if we leave society completely, we go live in nature somewhere, grow our own food, all that stuff, that first of all, somebody can kick us off the land because it's not our land. We didn't pay for it. Um, and the government can come in and they can put us in prison if we don't renew our, our tourist visa, or if we don't renew our, our state, a nine, whatever the stay is for your visa. It's actually not a visa, what I was told. But anyways, you basically, people are so scared of that, and they think like, oh, I have to kind of conform in some way. I got to conform still because I don't want to be put into jail, or I don't want to have my property stolen, or whatever, by police. And that's the thing, police. That's the name of the police, is police force. Police force. They force their agendas on us. And also, um, government is governed to rule and have authority. Nobody has authority to or rule. No external being has any right to rule over our bodies or our lives. We are, we have the birthright to govern ourselves. So we are sovereign human beings, individual human beings, the right to own our own bodies. So nobody else has the right to do anything to us, to arrest us, to do anything. All the laws, okay, all the so-called legal laws are all man-made by governments. They're all government-made. Okay, they have nothing to do with sovereign individual human beings. Nothing to do with us. We have the birthright to live anywhere freely on the earth and to go anywhere we wish. But it doesn't work that way because governments and police force are taking our freedoms away. So the society no longer works. Society no longer works. We gotta totally forego the whole system. That's the only way that we're going to survive, because the system is no longer working. We've tried for several thousand years. It's not working. We keep getting problems keep getting worse and worse and worse, or new problems arise. And if there's another way within the system to change it, to make it better, yeah, we can make it slightly better. But is there really another way to make true peace and freedom within society, within our culture? And the answer is no. There's no way. So this is the thing that I've been talking about for probably the last year or so. And now, since coronavirus and this pandemic is around, I've been talking about it more and more because I think it's so important that we understand that the most important thing is to become fully self-sufficient, and to really understand that our society and governments and all this system doesn't work anymore. We need to create a new uh, world vegan community. So we got to really create a new world vegan community, a new one. And small pockets of communities all around the world, communities of 50, 100, couple hundred, even couple thousand people. Because the more people we have in communities, and we can have like sections, different sections, community sections, or different kind of like outfit communities. So we can have in the vicinity, we can have like a community of like 10 people or 20 people. And then right next door, we have another community, very similar community or very same community of another, let's say 20 people or 100 people. And then we have 10 of these things and we have 100 people. Okay. Or we have, 200 or 400, whatever it is, right? And then we have that huge section of land that we occupied, and nobody can drive us out because we basically have hundreds and hundreds of people on the land. So police can't do anything when there's hundreds of people standing their ground non-violently, right? So non-violently, we're standing our ground. We're not doing any harm. We're exercising our birthrights to be able to live freely on the earth and to be individual, sovereign human beings. As well, once there's enough people, a few hundred or even a few thousand people in that one cluster of community, comprised of small individual communities. So that would be in the same vicinity of area. Basically, then you have um, in another area close by, let's say, I don't know, a couple kilometers away or something, you have another community and another one right next door. So you have, of these small little communities, you have, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 of them in one, let's say, one country. Then you have more in other countries, and then so on and so forth. So you have a lot of these systems, or a lot of these communities around. And basically, what will happen is that once there's enough people coming together and really exercising their anarchist rights, their non-conforming rights, rights to leave society completely, to understand that we are unique, loving, caring, beautiful, unique beings with the potential to transform this world into a benevolent Garden of Eden, then we understand that we're more powerful than anything on earth and any government on earth. When more and more of us band together and create the world vegan community, then there's nothing that can stop us. No government, no police force can stop us because we're unstoppable. Individually, we have the power. If we band together individually, we have the power. It's just like sand, or just like, let's say, water. So one drop of water is like me, for example. Another drop of water is you. Another drop of water is that person over there. Another drop of water is that person over there. And so forth and so forth until you get the lake or the ocean. And that's what, as vegans and raw vegans, that's what we need to do. We need to band together to create this heavenly place. So it's been already 30 minutes almost. And I want to thank you for joining me, whoever's on the call or on the live video. And don't forget, get my book, The Journey to Awakening by Music by Moby. And I'm going to be posting it down below. But basically, it goes into all these ideas. And then eventually, I'm going to have a full-length book in the next few years, probably. Gathering all the ideas, writing some ideas down, and eventually start to actually write it. Maybe next year, start to actually write it slowly. And then from there, we create the actual physical communities. So that's really what I'm doing. I'm starting to grow. I'm starting to create the communities. Let's find land, what's unoccupied. Let's go there with all our intention and all our might, and let's create this. Let's band together. Let's do this, everybody. Let's do this. Okay? Let's do this. Let's create it, because it's so important that we get away from governments. We start to live a free, truly free life out in nature as anarchists and nonconformists, and nothing can stop us. Nothing can stop us. Thank you for joining me, everybody. I love you all. Bye-bye. Take care, everybody.